1965 Wolseley 1500. Pretty little one this, very, very usable and presentable little Wolseley 1500 here. Body weight wise, we'll start off the bonnet, work our way around the car, onto the interior, and then we'll go for a cold engine start up. Up the bonnet, nice and straight up the centre of the bonnet. The whole bonnet itself has got some bubbling under the paint there. You can see that the camera's picking that up quite clearly. There's a bit of moisture underneath the paint there, and a few flat marks there in the paint itself, just where some light scratching where it's been washed, I would think, on the left hand side. Underneath the scuttle and the window on the left, no major rot. There's a few little cracks in the paint, but no big lumps of rot or nastiness there. So we work our way across the scuttle again. You have got some very, very light cracking in the paint, just paint shrinkage across the front edge of the scuttle there. As we come down the bonnet, like I say, it has got those little bubbles in the bonnet, just on the wings as well. Nice and tidy on the emblem there, the grille all nice and straight. The Wolseley light is working as well. Lovely and clean and tidy underneath the headlights on the right and the left hand side. All the lights are lovely and clear and fresh, no cracks in those, no yellowness to them at all. The grille's all nice and tidy with some very, very light pitting on the side grills there, but lovely and fresh underneath the headlights, no corrosion as you come down the left hand side. And across the front bumper there, again some very, very light pitting in the bumper itself, but lovely and tidy once again underneath the headlights on the right hand side. A little bit of a scratch and a crack there just on the lower section of the right hand side of the valance. Got the wing top itself nice and straight, a few little bits and pieces of the paint itself, and some very, very light scratching just where it's been washed. Nice and presentable around that front wheel arch, all nice and tidy, no rust coming through on the paint side of things on the wheel arch. Nice white painted steels all the way around with the Wolseley hubcaps. Down the lower half section on the sill there, got a little bit of bubbling, very, very small amount just at the bottom again. None of it's come through the paint, so it's not really that noticeable, but it is there. As we come up the driver's door, lovely and straight up the driver's door, really nice and fresh. Across the door top, no scratching around the handle, no nasty chips out the back edge of the door there on the top half. Lovely and fresh across the lower half, good reflection there of my legs. All nice and clean and tidy around the window frame. We'll jump up onto the roof quickly and have a look at the roof again. Lovely and flat across the roof. Again, a few little imperfections in the paint, little bits of dust here and there, and some very, very light surface scratches across the roof itself. Going to come back down this passenger right hand door, sorry. All nice and tidy across the door top. There, odd imperfection in the paint, a little bit of paint lift there. Across the bottom of the door, a few little blebs, little dents in the paint itself, you can see that there, but again underneath the paint. As you come up the rear arch on the door, there's a few little chips out the paint on the door, nice and tidy down the lower half of the back section of the arch. We've got a heavier scratch sort of and a slight crack there on the right hand side rear arch, and a little bit of a paint lift again underneath the seam there, and a little bit of a reaction to the paint itself on that right hand rear arch just by the door. A little bit of a scratch here as well. All right around the fuel filler cap again, some little imperfections in the paint itself, but all nice and straight, very, very presentable and usable this one. So very, very light pitting across the back bumper. Around the lights nice and tidy again, no corrosion. All nice and straight as you come across the back edge of the boot again, lovely and tidy across there. The odd imperfection in the paint, a little bit of a circle crack there, and a few little bits just starting at the lower half of the boot, but once again all underneath the paint itself. Across the back of the boot there, again a few bits of imperfection in the paint itself there. Nice and tidy underneath the rear window, no cracks in there, all the glass is nice and clear as well. Just come down that left hand side rear quarter, a few little marks at the top edge there on the seam, all nice and straight down the rear quarter, and around the arch nice and tidy again, a few little cracks in the paint itself and the odd imperfection, bits of dust in the paint here and there. Around the rear arch there on the left hand side, all okay. Across the lower half of the sill section, the lower rear door, nice and straight all the way across the lower half there, all nice and flat. Onto the top half of the passenger rear, again the odd bit of imperfection in the paint here and there, but overall very, very presentable. Nice and shiny as well, that one. As we come down to the front arch there, got a little bit of paint flake on the sill where it meets the wing. Lovely and tidy around the arch once again. And a few imperfections in the paint on the arch and the the front wing itself, but all nice and level down the left hand side. Very, very reusable this one. Onto the interior now. It's had a retrim at some point in a navy blue. Door cards, lovely, clean and tidy, no complaints there at all. As it's obviously been retrimmed at some point, so they are as you'd expect them to be. No wear, no rips, no tears. Sort of a mid blue with the white piping and the lighter blue carpet set. All lovely and clean and tidy on the carpet set as well. Across the top of the dash, no problems at all there, nice and straight. The wood's all good. No big cracks in the wood itself. Headlighting lovely and clean and tidy as well. Onto the driver's rear, again retrimmed door card there, no problems at all, that nice and clean and tidy. No marks at all to the rear seat, as new, no rips, no tears, and again lovely carpet set in the back as well, no complaints there. Nice and tidy in the boot with a full sized rubber mat there, your spare wheel underneath with the wheel brace, all nice and clean and tidy and presentable in there. Perfect for a few deck chairs and a picnic, that one. The left hand side rear, again door card same condition, no rips, no tears, no marks at all. And the same from the left hand side on the rear seats, no marking at all there on the rear seats. Lovely, clean and tidy, nice retrim job that. Left hand side front door card, again no complaints at all with that, no rips or tears once again. And the passenger seat itself, lovely and fresh, no wear at all. Move that seat belt, you can have a look at the bolster, no wear at all to that one. No rips or tears at all, or any marks on the seats themselves. And again, a lovely, clean and fresh blue carpet set underneath there. Onto the engine bay now. Like I say, the Wolseley 1500. James is going to fire up. It's a cold start up, so it will have some choke on. No problems at all with that. Lovely and quiet, that engine. It's ticking over nice and happy, nice and smooth. No nastiness at all from that. And then we'll show you the barge braking as well. There you go. That's lovely, the engine on that, really, really nice. No problems at all with that there. And there you have it, the Wolseley 1500 in blue, that lovely retrim interior and that gorgeous sounding engine there.